Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think the league is probably beyond us this season, but we are still in the Champions League. Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're joining me for the first time here on our FM22 Journeyman, where we're attempting to go from non-league football to winning the Champions League. We have got our first Champions League knockout round today against Nice, and then we have got a Bundesliga match as well. As I mentioned there in the intro though, we've probably let the Bundesliga slip away from us this season. We are now 14 points behind Bayern Munich, who have finally lost the game, but we'll get to that in a second. So in total this season, they have dropped 5 points across the course of 23 games. We have obviously dropped significantly more. We are still like pretty decent, really, in the grand scheme of things, but these sort of results here are what are costing us. We saw in the last episode when we did the transfers. If you haven't seen that one, pop back and have a look at that one. We lost 3-1 to Wolfsburg. We went on a little bit of a losing streak where we then lost to Bayer Leverkusen. We then got knocked out of the DFB Pokal as well against Bayern Munich. It was on penalties. It did go all the way to penalties, but as we can see over here, Lorenzo Luca and Traore missing both their penalties didn't exactly start us off very well. So we got knocked out of that one by Bayern Munich. We then did beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0, which put us back in a little bit of form and did allow us to beat Bayern Munich 3-2, which is their one loss in the league, but definitely not enough to close the gap. Now we have got our first knockout round the Champions League against Nice, and then a Bundesliga match against Fortuna Düsseldorf. This is our lineup for today for that match. We've got Simon in goal, we've got Mikalenko, Mancini, Lacroix and Valdez as our back four. Freeman, Neuhaus and Traore in midfield, with Cavara and Techo on the wings and Luca up front. So pretty much more or less a fairly standard bog 11. Funk obviously missing for that one just because he's tired, and a couple of other changes as well. We can see we've made 3 changes over here. Apparently Giovanni Renner's over at Nice, which is a little bit of a weird one. Not exactly the place I expected to find him, but fair enough. Hopefully we go and get a really good result here against Nice, and we put ourselves in really good stead to then progress up in the Champions League. Is all going to be, I don't think we win this at all this season, but it does allow us to attract a better caliber of player. Maybe if we're going deeper into the Champions League, it might mean we have a bit more of a transfer budget next season if we go deep in the Champions League, because it's going to generate some more revenue for us. We are away, of course, here in France today, which is great. And the first highlight we're seeing, I believe we've committed a foul. No, it was them, and never mind. Lacroix here taking that one quickly. Cavarat through on goal, or not quite managing that one. Techo has managed to keep this kind of alive, and we've now got a header from Valdez, but it just goes over the crossbar. That was very, very close. A corner here then. Harvey Elliott for Nice to take. It's almost in. It is in now. It's not going to go to VAR either. We are 1-0 down on the night. Unai Simon here is not exactly the goalkeeper I thought he was going to be. He seems to be conceding a lot of goals. If he's not careful, I don't care that we've just spent a chunk of money on him. I will be dropping him and bringing Mendy back in as our first choice goalkeeper. I'm still looking at it going, we really, really need like a long-term goalkeeper. That it doesn't look to me, unless he's just having a bit of an off one, Simon is the one. We have pulled one back here pretty much straight away though. What a game for the neutrals as it stands. Less than 10 minutes in, it's 1-1 already. We're seeing Hertha Berlin off to a flyer on the commentary down the bottom there, but obviously we have already conceded, so I don't know how much of a flyer that is. But that's just a big long ball forward to Traore, who dinks the goalkeeper there, and that is a lovely, lovely goal. This is why we've changed him around as well. Neuhaus plays better than Uenoy or than Schubert as a box-to-box midfielder, and I really wanted to change Traore over to the central attacking midfielder there, or the central midfielder on attack, because he is a bit more of a goal threat than anyone else we can put there, and he does pop up and do stuff like that. Just the occasional goal, I think he's a lot better going forward than any of our other options, so it just makes sense to put him in there. And Neuhaus is absolutely fine, just not someone I was using because he is a bit older than the other options we have, and I was all about let's build a team around the youth So hopefully then we have a nice youthful team that's going to last us for the next 4 to 5 seasons and constantly go. Like Freeman, I believe now is a 4-star rated player, but has the potential to go all the way up to 5-star or 4.5-star. So that sort of thing. But he's perfectly fine. It's a good partnership. It's working at the moment. I don't feel the need to change it. Maybe in the summer, but for the moment, that's what we're going with. Lacroix here, surging forward, basically just deciding he's a wide centre-back there and going out onto the wing. He's kind of a little bit more central now. Valdez has been brought down here by Gory, who is on a yellow card. And the referee is going to go over and show him a red. And Nice are down to 10 men. Now, this is where we need to make our attacking threat count. We can pretty much kill off this tie in the first leg if we do this right. Cavarat to Neyhouse. It's been blocked. Cavarat again going to get a second bite of the cherry. It's back to Neyhouse again. And now Michaelenko coming in, a big cross into the box to Techahoe, gets his head to it, but can't keep that one down. It goes sailing over the crossbar. Mancini has got a yellow card for us as well. We're just quickly telling to ease off tackles while that throw's being taken. It's been taken to Techahoe. Valdez now out on the wing, the man who drew that foul to give a yellow card, a second yellow card to Gory and get him sent off. Although apparently he is 1 yellow card away from suspension, and it's being recommended that we take him off as well. So maybe we do that after this highlight and just keep him for the next tie. We have managed to gain that ball back straight away though. And this one, another long ball forward to Traore, who's through on goal again. And he's getting his second goal of the game, 9th of this season. That's twice we've played pretty much an identical ball. Just a chip, sort of a long chip ball over the top here. Mancini was the man who did it last time. Freeman, the man who did it this time. Just a ball for Traore to run onto. And once he's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, he has got some pretty decent finishing. I've no idea what his actual finishing stat is, but he does seem to put those away. And now maybe it is time to make those couple of substitutions. We've had a long couple of weeks. We're getting some tired legs already. We saw that Valdez was 1 booking away from suspension. So we would want to take him off, but he's not as tired as some other players. So Lacroix is going to come off instead. Delporte can come on. Techahoe equally is looking tired. We're going to bring Pep Ramos over on that side. Put him as an inside forward. It's definitely not his natural position, but at least it is giving him a little bit of game time in the Champions League, which we can't really complain too much about that. At least it's giving him the match experience, even if it's not in his ideal position. Seymour managing to actually keep hold of a ball this time and save that one, which is very, very welcomed. Valdez over to Ramos now off of that throw-in. Freeman to Luca, and we are now building towards maybe a 3rd goal in this tie. I think if we get 2 ahead, I don't think Nice come back for it. Ramos into Traore. Traore's got his 3rd of the evening, man of the match, without a shadow of a doubt here. Been absolutely phenomenal, lethal in front of goal this evening, and now we are 3-1 up against Nice. It's some nice build-up play once again here. Cavarat this time, it's a cross into the box, nodded down by Ramos, so he gets his assist, and Traore just poking that one home for his 3rd of the evening. I think now we probably just make our 3rd and final substitution here. To be honest, it could be Traore. He's had his 3. Let's keep him fit now for the league. We'll bring Schubert on instead. Give him a little bit of a game time. Schubert's still showing up as a wonder kid. He just doesn't seem to be progressing quite as quickly as we'd like him to, even when he has had a lot of game time. Luca with the free kick here. Somehow bundled in. I think that's been bundled in by Delporte, and it does look like it's going to go to VAR, and Philip, who's obviously living in the referee's ear. The goal has been disallowed, so we're unfortunately not going to get our 4th one there. I was really not sure what happened there. Delporte is basically half a foot offside, and by a foot I mean an actual foot. He was off by a big toe there, which is a little bit unlucky because it would have been absolutely kill off the tie completely if we get that 4th goal there. And now Nice with their throw-in are coming through on goal. You're nice to see Monis manage to actually save one there. It was a good reaction save, to be fair. He just makes me a little bit jumpy. He isn't quite as good as his attributes would lead us to believe. I'm not entirely sure why. I never noticed with goalkeepers. If you do happen to have some sort of reasoning behind this, let me know down in the comments below. But goalkeepers, attributes almost seem meaningless sometimes. We've just scored a 4th goal. It's Lorenzo Luca off a corner, and it's his 28th goal of the season. It's pretty alright, to be honest. Going back to goalkeepers, after this highlight, Neuhaus with this corner, and Luca, we've seen this before. Luca just powering it home with his head. It's what the man does. Goalkeepers are a weird one for me. The attributes never seem to matter. I really, basically, when I'm looking at a goalkeeper, just look, did you keep any clean sheets last season? What's your star rating? You look good enough for our first team. And how many did you concede? Luca nodding this one forward to Ramos. Ramos with bags and bags of space to run into here. He has got himself slightly boxed in, but he's managed to get across into Kafarat, who doesn't manage to put that one home. That is the last kick of the game. We're almost 5-1 up there with the last kick of the game. I think we should be able to see ourselves through here. If we don't go through here now, remembering that Nice are now coming back to ours in Germany in the next match, then I'm going to be very, very concerned. Their manager saying that was a harsh sending off, but it was 2 yellow cards. So even if you don't like the second one, he got the first one. Freeman's going to be out for the next one because he is now suspended, which is a bit annoying. But at the same time, we've pretty much just secured our qualification with that match, so I'm not overly concerned. We are now, obviously, as we can see, a couple of days away from our match against Fortuna Düsseldorf. So we're going to go look at that one now, back in a second. A few changes for this match then, not many, just a few fitness issues, and we've promised Renan some game time, so probably time to give him some. We've got Simon in goal, Michaelenko, Mancini, Lacroix and Funk are back 4. Diallo, Neuhaus and Traore in midfield, Badino over on left, Techahoa on the right and Renan up front today, which does mean we've made 4 changes from the last match. Like I said, a couple of those are fitness ones. Funk can come back in. He wasn't quite fully fit for the last match. We're just giving Valdez a little bit of a rest as well, because Mancini and Lacroix are doing fine in the centre of defence, which is where Valdez has been playing rather than over on the right. He is doing fantastic. I can't remember why we dropped him, apart from the fact that he was showing up as 5-star potential and then dropped to 3-star potential. I think that was probably the reason. And Funk is by far a superior right winger, or right back even, sorry, but Valdez is doing fine in the heart of the fence. Delport is kind of not playing at the moment because he's still in the strop and he wants to leave in the summer, and I prefer to focus on the players I know are going to be here next season. So I know Valdez will, unless something changes, but as it stands, will be here next season, so we're focusing on him rather than Delport, despite Delport potentially being a slightly better central defender. And we are once again here on the attack. Can we get a good result against Fortuna Düsseldorf and just make this a episode full of goals again, like we had a couple of episodes ago? Badino is in the box to the byline now, tries to get across into Renan, but Renan is not quite as tall as Lorenzo Luca. Definitely does not have the same heading ability, not able to get onto that one. Funk now is depossessed before he can get that cross in, and then tries to make a cross while the opposition player has it. That was a bit of a weird one. Techo into Badino. It's nodded down for Renan, and Renan has put this one in the back of the net, although once again it's going to Philip. The Bundesliga seems full of VAR. I swear when we were playing like Premier League football with Barnsley, we didn't have this many VAR checks, but it's being counted regardless. Badino, like I said, just nodding that one down. Renan with a first time shot into the back of the net, coming in, taking his opportunity where he can. I do think, I don't want him to leave and touch some wood, which I'm not going to show you me doing, but I'm touching my desk. It's made of wood. It counts, okay? If Lorenzo Luca was to leave, I do think we'd be okay, quietly saying that, because we have got Techahoa, we've got Renan, and we've got Pep Ramos, all of who can play as a striker. So I do think we'd be okay. I don't think we'd be anywhere near the same quality up front as we are at the moment. It would take some time to build that back up because Lorenzo Luca is basically a monster, as we've seen. 28 goals scored this season already in all competitions, which is a fantastic return. But if we were to lose him in the summer, because I know Bayern Munich is sniffing around, I know a couple of other Premier League teams that I can't remember right now, but they were sniffing around in the January transfer window. And if he keeps playing the way he is, I'll be very surprised if we don't eventually get a bid. And then he's probably going to want to move on. And obviously, we bought him for 7.5 million. I'm sure the board would be fairly happy if we got 60 to 70 million pound for him, regardless of the fact that he's 100% our talisman striker at this point. So maybe we see him move on in the summer. It's entirely possible. That was a beautiful ball out to Funk. He's crossed it in now for Bodino to get his head to for his 9th goal of the season. And we're now 2-0 up against Fortuna Düsseldorf. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. This is what you want to see. Hertha Berlin just clicking once again. We had a little bit of a bad patch. We've clicked. And now the goals are flowing freely once again. It's a shame that Bayern Munich are so far ahead of us in the league that is now essentially insurmountable that we catch that up. I mean, even with a game in hand, we're still 11 points behind them and we're winning. It's ridiculous how well they've been this season. I think I said this at the start of the season, but I'll say it again. I think last season when we had a chance to win the Bundesliga and we bottled it, that might have been our one and only chance, at least for a few seasons, of overtaking Bayern Munich, because they seem to have a shocking season. They basically had the worst season they've had in maybe 10 seasons of this save, and they still won the league because we were the only other team that were anywhere near it, and we bottled it last minute and let them win it. And I don't know that we get another chance like that. Traore is looking a little bit tired. We're going to bring on Schubert. We'll take him off again. I know we took him off last match, but he's looking a bit shattered. Tetchahoa can come on for Pep Ramos, and Ramos can go up front with Renan then coming over onto the right. So once again, let's change that to an inside forward because they're all better at shooting than they are at crossing over on that right-hand side. Tetchahoa being the only one that's actually good at crossing a ball, really. And Michaelenko's now looking tired as well. We probably... Castillo can come on for him. I knew someone is out with the flu, but that's Cadario Silva, our centre-back, rather than Silva, who's obviously... Silva Castillo. Who's obviously our left-back. I've just completely forgotten our players' names. We don't worry about it. It's fine. I can't pronounce any of them anyway, so forgetting them is not the end of the world. It's a quiet second half then, but it's a 2-0 win for us at Fortuna Düsseldorf. We take that. It's fine. It does mean we are now a fair amount in front of FC Köln there. And even if RB Leipzig win, that'll take them up to 48 points. So we've got a bit of breathing room. It's basically Bayern Munich and us, and then everyone else. Or should I say, it's Bayern Munich, us, everyone else. That's more realistic because we're definitely not in the same conversation as Bayern Munich yet. We will be back in the next episode though with 2 more matches, of course, as we always are. We're going to have the knockout round, the second leg against Nice. It's probably a pretty dead match now, I think, but it's worth seeing nonetheless. And then we've got the match against Mönchengladbach, and we're choosing that one over the RB Leipzig match. A, because it's further away, and B, because we really owe Mönchengladbach a loss. We have lost so many times to them. I need to go check a second. Have they still got... Yes, they have. That man, Patson Daka, who's been a thorn in my side ever since I've been at Germany. Scoring last season 33 goals in 32 appearances. This man is also a monster, considering as well, if we have a look at him, he's 31 years old, still banging in a lot of goals. Hopefully next episode though, we can stop him scoring any more against us at least. That's the plan. We'll see if it goes like that. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like down below the video. Of course, it does really help out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We recently hit 1,000 subscribers on the channel. We are now aiming for 2,000 and beyond, but 2,000 is our next target. So if you haven't subscribed already and are enjoying the content, then please do hit the subscribe button. It would be really appreciated. Until next time though, guys, check out the video that's on the screen now. I'll see you over on the next video. Bye bye.